The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the parking lot, where rows of shopping carts gleamed under the last golden light of the day. Most people hurried past, rushing from the grocery store to their cars, too caught up in their own lives to notice anything outside their own orbit. But one man, dressed sharply in a grey tailored suit, paused. His name was Daniel Carter. A successful investment manager in his mid-30s, Daniel had just closed a major deal and was picking up a few groceries for the weekend. On the outside, he looked like a man who had it all: confidence, money, a life of order. But behind that clean shave and pressed shirt was someone whose soul hadn't felt warmth in a long time. He never expected his world to shift in a grocery store parking lot. That's when he saw her. A little girl, 5 or maybe 6 years old, standing barefoot on the concrete, wearing a faded pink dress. She clutched a worn-out stuffed bunny in one hand. Her blonde curls shimmered in the sun, and her face was smeared with a touch of dirt. But what caught Daniel's attention wasn't her appearance, it was her eyes. She looked right at him, direct, still, as if she'd been waiting just for him. Daniel slowed his pace. She stepped forward, holding something out. A crumpled $100 bill. "I don't need food today," she said in a soft, brave voice. "Just a hug." Daniel froze. It was such a simple sentence, so gentle, so unexpected, and yet it hit him like a lightning bolt. The little girl's voice cracked something inside him, something he'd sealed off long ago when his own daughter, Grace, had died in a car accident 3 years earlier. He hadn't touched a teddy bear since, hadn't let a child that close, hadn't allowed himself to feel anything but the cold grind of work and loneliness. He knelt down, eyes locked with hers. "What's your name?" "Lily," she said. "This is Mr. Flop," she added, holding up her stuffed rabbit. Daniel looked at the bill. "Where did you get this?" "My mom said not to ask people for anything unless it's important," Lily whispered. "But she's crying. I just thought maybe a hug would help." Behind her, about 30 feet away, he spotted a young woman, maybe late 20s, crouched beside a broken pushcart piled with ragged bags and blankets. Her shoulders shook, though she was silent. She looked exhausted, defeated. That must be her mother. Daniel's chest tightened. Lily wasn't asking for food or money, she was giving it, and asking for something far harder to receive: genuine human connection. He opened his arms. Without hesitation, Lily walked into them. And in that moment, surrounded by the sounds of shopping carts, rolling wheels, and distant traffic, Daniel felt everything he had tried to forget: the weight of grief, the ache of isolation, the quiet scream of a heart yearning for meaning. Her tiny arms wrapped around his neck. She smelled like sun and dust and innocence. He didn't cry, not yet, but something inside him cracked, the first fault line of a soul beginning to heal. They sat on the curb together as the sun slipped behind the grocery store sign. Daniel walked Lily back to her mother, who looked up warily as they approached. "Hi, I'm Daniel. Your daughter is incredible." The woman stood quickly, brushing dust from her skirt. Her eyes were red. "I'm sorry if she bothered you. We're just having a rough time right now." "Don't apologize," he said softly. "She didn't bother me. She reminded me I'm still alive." Her name was Emily Bennett. She had lost her job 6 months ago when the diner she worked at closed unexpectedly. Her landlord gave her 2 weeks to move out. She packed what she could into a second-hand cart and left with Lily, trying to find work in nearby towns, hoping for a break. But the days were long, money was gone, and every promise of help led to another dead end. She didn't want a handout. She had only taught Lily one rule: never beg, but always be kind. Daniel bought them dinner that night. Just fast food, burgers and warm fries, but they ate like royalty. Lily laughed at the ketchup packet that exploded in Daniel's hand. Emily's eyes softened for the first time in weeks. Then Daniel made an offer. "I have a guest house. It's just a couple of rooms behind mine. It's not fancy, but it's warm and safe. You can stay there until you get back on your feet." Emily hesitated. Her pride and fear battled her desperation. But then Lily looked up at her and said simply, "He's nice, Mommy." And for once, It was okay to say yes. What started as a temporary shelter turned into something more. Daniel helped Emily get a job interview at a bakery his sister owned. Her work ethic and gentle spirit won everyone over. Lily started school. Daniel drove her every morning and picked her up every afternoon. She brought home crayon drawings with "Thank you, Mr. Daniel" written across the top. Emily offered to pay rent, but Daniel refused. Just save, build your life. Months passed, winter came and went, and slowly love returned, not like fireworks but like sunrise, quiet, steady, warm. Daniel would often sit on the back porch, watching Lily chase butterflies across the grass. Emily would bring out tea. They would talk about little things, music, childhood memories, recipes, nothing dramatic, just connection. One evening, as Daniel tucked Lily into bed, she asked, "Can I call you Daddy now?" His throat closed. He couldn't speak. He just nodded. And she smiled, turning over to hug Mr. Flop, the same bunny she had carried that first day in the parking lot. Years later, Lily would stand on a stage at her high school graduation and share a story with the class. She spoke of a man who gave her mother a chance, a home, a family, and a hug when she needed it most. "That hug saved us," she said, "but it also saved him, and that's the thing about kindness. You think you're giving it away, but it finds a way to come back and fill the empty places in you." The crowd stood in applause. Daniel, now her father in every sense of the word, had tears on his cheeks. Emily held his hand tightly, her thumb brushing gently over his knuckles, the same way she had done that first cold night when she didn't know what tomorrow held. Because sometimes life breaks you. Sometimes all you have is $1 and a hug. But sometimes, when the right hearts collide, that's more than enough to rebuild the world.